Hello, Ilkan. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, or nickname. On your YouTube channel is Nevzat, and on the forums Yelukan, and if I'm saying it right again. Um, if not, please let me know how to say it and what I might call you. I didn't feel like making this video much, but when you asked how I make my songs and the kind of phrases I use and how does Rapid Composer look for me and stuff like that, I remembered how many awesome videos you've put out and how it was always inspirational to see them and to see into your process. So I thought it's the least I can do to answer your question. Nothing big. This is a song I just finished, and I guess what I started out with was this. I wanted to. There was a sale on Cine samples, I think, and I've been meaning to buy a cello sample that they had, and so I got it. And the thing that I found here, it's this one, Tinaguo. And the thing that I did here, kind of more interesting, I thought, was I tried to. You can't actually see it here. That's a shame. It was a pretty complicated setup. I tried to, actually, that's part of maybe the interestingness of it. I wonder what will happen now. I have no idea what will happen now. So basically, yeah, there's another instance of Rapid Compose running. I tried to force the phrases to go into legato kind of stuff, and I kind of, my problem was that there wasn't any way to apply them to make them not work like that. So see here how if I move one, is it not? Maybe it's not this one. I wonder, because I think there was a kind of a thing where if I removed something, it would stretch to the next one, and I'm sorry, it's apparently not this one or something like that. But the idea was that I couldn't unapply it and I couldn't work with them, so I couldn't apply it, so I ended up exporting everything as MIDI and then re-importing it. That's why now the variations are pretty simple, although originally they were like 5 to 10 variations here with different stuff. And what my usual method is, I have an initial stage where I search for an idea kind of stuff. There I sometimes use something like Band in a Box, or if I'm on the go, how do you call that? There's a very nice Android little app. It's called ChordBot, yeah. And but in this case, as soon as now that Attila is adding a lot of features and fixing a lot of bugs and stuff like that, I'm doing more of my explorative process also in Rapid Composer. And for example, let's see some tracks here. And my idea for the whole thing is usually in this case I made a little. It was, the whole point was to try out a cello kind of a thing. So, but I also wanted to learn about melody making a bit. So I tried to make a melody with different phrases so that it repeats enough to be remembered and use enough themes, but the changes also. And I have a few sections here, but this is probably not a very good showcase of the way I organize the projects, because it was just all about this kind of melody. But the thing that is kind of I guess useful, I usually work in B minor, B Dorian, B major, kind of stuff. In this case B Dorian, and I'm so my usual idea is to make a bit more than I need, so that I can then choose the final editing in the last stage. Hopefully I'm still recording, yeah, otherwise I'm just silly talking to myself. And after I made this melody with the different parts and stuff like that, I structured it. I added myself something extra, like here some triads run, here the crescendo, pizzicato, and I have a bit of trouble now running Rapid Composer in VST mode, which is why unfortunately now I have to recreate the whole process somewhere else, in my case in Cubase. Oops, it's a bit loud. And then these parts I can then use in different parts of the song, but I still try to get a rough shape of how it will sound with the VSTs right here. In this case, like I told you, it was all about strings. The big thing I was trying out here is to see how much I can combine or thicken up the sounds, because I had here, like for example, this is a cello from Spitfire solo strings, a cello legato, and violin legato. It's really nice that Spitfire, this one has the ability to transpose inside the software. Here I could transpose by 12 semitones. Yeah, I'm hoping that in the future Rapid Composer will have the ability to have tracks which are sort of like clones, instances, so to speak, so that I can have them be transposed on other things like that, and just inherit stuff. Here I tried Jaeger legato violin, 16 violin, I think. Yes, and I also tried out the 6 cellos kind of a thing, and sorry, to show you how. Then I would. Is there anything else here that I think? Only if I can figure out what the other thing was. So maybe this one. Maybe this is the one I started from, and I can show a bit here. Could this have been the one? We'll see if they behave. No, this was probably indeed something I started from, but not behaving as closer to what I was expecting, kind of a thing. So I was a bit surprised. There's a Rapid Composer variation, which is kind of cool. See, yeah, this is the behavior I was saying there. See, so how they all, I like this. The thing that I always add here is octave transpose. I want to see it. Expression is my substitute for volume until Rapid Composer will have a volume in standalone mode. Of course, in VST mode I wouldn't need it, but I am experiencing trouble with hanging notes. So I envy you guys that I understand that nobody else but me has this. Me and Cubase. I still, hopefully it will get fixed, because Cubase is still a big environment, but we'll see. Then there's the lowest note and the highest note, which I often like to have. This is due to the ranges of certain VSTs. If they you can, as you can see here, this stuff, I'm just mentioning it. Yeah, the length, what was this? Oh yeah, so unfortunately, to my surprise, the legato variation does not quite, to me, this staccato legato, I was like incredibly happy to see it there, but it seems to me that it doesn't actually make legatos. It extends them right to the limit, but if I don't then extend the notes, they don't overlap, so they don't actually cling like legato. They actually end there, which was a huge shock. I think this variation should definitely have inside the staccato legato a way to overlap. I would even like it to early overlap a bit, because different sample libraries have a bit of a delay. But yeah, so I have to fake it by adding the staccato legato just to get the notes to touch each other, and then on top of that to sort of like fiddle around with length, and it's confusing. There's 2 lengths, and until I make sure that it actually crosses the next note, so that it triggers the sample library's next note. Okay, so I got to show this, and what other variations do I have there? I have to be on the first one. This is also a bit confusing to me, because it's sometimes it's what did I do? I must have done something, because now I don't see any more variation. Okay, so, or maybe it's on the track. Maybe the track variation. Yeah, it was on the track variation. Brilliant. So this is the thing. It was lacking a way to apply all of them. So I figured out, and it seemed to work, that if I export the MIDI and then re-import it, I was able to apply, and also a variation that would have been needed to shift the notes all to the left a bit, because all of them start a bit later and I wanted them to start a bit earlier. Rest is a magical feature that I don't super understand yet, but it seems to add some much needed spaciousness. Join nodes I used to unite things a lot. I love simplify in case of the Rapid Composer's tools. And this expression thing I didn't used to get, but I'm starting to, I think, understand about how it works. Okay, now moving on with my process. So I would then take that project and go into Cubase, and hopefully I'm still recording. Yeah. What was the name of this? Uncomfortable melody. Yeah, okay. So while it's loading, I left here big thank you to your YouTube channel and the videos you've been putting. You've been making some great songs, and your experimentation process with guitar strings, and then you moved to orchestral and made like mind-blowing stuff and really cool stuff. I also want to say thank you to, in case they're watching, to High Energy Music. I really liked all the explorations that he's done, and yeah, thanks a lot. And also to Blues House, who for his Rapid Composer things, and also especially for this one, the melody-based composing. I hope the tools in Rapid Composer will get better so that you can do this in Rapid Composer and you can teach me, because you seem to have a great understanding of melody theory kind of a thing. Okay, it loaded in the meanwhile. So this would be a pretty typical process of mine, which is it's, I guess, a simplified project, but it can be shown. Now, so I have too much of them, and then I choose what to introduce in one. I don't really do articulations. I much more prefer them in separate tracks, and then I manage them like this if needed. So, and here is the VST. What I tried in this one, wait, how do I, yeah, I can actually lower it from here. My usual workspace is something like this, but for some reason Cubase keeps forgetting it. Let me put this lower so I can talk a bit. Hopefully I'm still recording. Yeah, seems like it. Okay, so the idea here was to see what happens if I introduce a legato cello and the violin from Spitfire with octave higher. Then I tried the string ensemble from Native Instruments. I definitely, I don't know, I hear some high frequency sounds, but I think this brightness thing might be helping me, and in case I even heard something like that, so maybe it's something like that. Even as a kid I would hear stuff through walls, like if my parents had the TV on, so I actually pushed down this frequency here. It seems to be around 9,000. I thought it was, the big one was around 8,000, but I guess I overshot here just to be sure, because it was, something was bugging me. Then I tried the East-West string ensemble, the East-West cellos, and I think East-West violas. They come in gradually to see. I was surprised how much the sound can be grown, and I also was curious to see how much I can push the simple melody, which, by the way, I don't love it very much, but I thought it was something, so I thought it was a shame not to try it, and I wanted to try out the cello library from Cine Samples. By the way, their author makes these amazing videos. I forget his name, but really awesome presentation of music and musical concepts. So, and also someone in queuing. This is Jaeger, my main library. It has this very weird futuristic look, but in fact it's very I think it's pretty good in the sounds of the violins kind of thing. The brass is also very aggressive, but I don't use it much exactly because of that. Here's the violins legato, and what was this? This was the cello legato. I'm trying to form a naming convention, and I also am trying to have the tracks. The red ones tend to be strings, and the blue ones tend to be like woodwinds kind of stuff. Or this was, I think, a free library I found somewhere. This was something that came with Contact at some point. at some point I introduced this, yeah, I think the special thing about this one was that I think I added some amplifying and distortion kind of effects for this track, and it comes in like around here. So these were just weird sounds. It just got this funny kind of thing. I thought it was funny, and I'm a huge fan of woodwinds. As I was telling you, I like much more the woodwinds from Palette, but this time I gave them a break, and I tried to use Tinago pizzicato. Like I said, I found some frequency here also. This is a spiccato from Tinago, another spiccato, and this one's actually a marcato. So if by my naming this should have been or something like that. Anyway, but I'm not gonna save this one. So moving on, this was the Uncomfortable Melody. I think the previous song was Remembering Solar Autumns. Here I can start the Rapid Composer file. Hopefully I'm still recording, and I wonder for how long. Yeah, 16 minutes. Wow, time flies when you're having music. Let me close some of these windows. I wonder if I close them while they're popping up, what happens? So woodwinds. I've got mixed feelings about the library from Native Instruments. This one is a very nice one. This I found it on a sale. I'm watching this DL compressor. It's a nice YouTube show, and every week they show sales, and I think 2 weeks ago there was a sample library which made a sale, and I didn't think I'd appreciate it so much, but it's got like really short shorts, very responsive, and they ended up sounding really good. Okay, this is the project. Let me fill the screen. I really hate I'm always wasting this screen space here, and if I do different stuff, if I change from this workspace to this workspace, I'm often just losing screen space. So and then I have to reset it and stuff like that. So yeah, okay. So I think this one kind of can show the stuff. So I guess this at the top was me doing more of the composing, deciding what to come in, where, and stuff like that. And then, in that philosophy of having just enough, I went ahead and made myself some extra tracks with different stuff so that I can see what it is. I did some changes. Dorian and B Dorian, this one I would have liked, I think, at some point to change to B minor, but I had some problems with changing I think it would change in a weird place or something like that. So anyway, the progression, I love the progression editor. This is like, oh my gosh, and especially now since Attila implemented this feature as for about dragging in progressions, it's getting really useful and fast and stuff like that. So here, I guess first track is just a chord generator, I think. This is doing the little woodwinds. This is not the final sound, but hey, it's good enough to be able to tell. And then there's this is here the woodwinds is, of course, my beloved palette, and then for the violas we have Jaeger strings singing Bartok. Yeah, my wife said she likes the Bartok, so I wanted to make her a Bartok songs. Then here we have what is this? I don't even know exactly when that one comes in. Oh yeah, here. Okay. I think it's this one. Oh no. Yeah. So this is a combination of the woodwind ensemble and the one that comes with Contact, the cello ensemble. I keep thinking that, hey man, if I wouldn't have gotten something else, I would have used that more. So. And I think, hey, it's Vienna Studios thing, I should use it more. And this is a marcato from I think some cheap library I found. I guess maybe I can show that more in Cubase. I can show here sort of more of the phrases, and I wish there was a way to get back to certain settings, because I like it certain sizes. So I don't know exactly how I got to these. Probably start with some generators and the best generator and stuff like that, and then as I got closer I would change things like that. Occasionally there's an export and a re-import kind of happening. Now let me get back to the thing. What do we have here? There is some, let's see this. What is this? This is some woodwind solos. Actually I kind of like this one. It's but I guess I wish I could put it higher from here. There's volume. Let me see if I can put it from the speaker. I doubt it that it can be heard, but hey. Okay, and here are sort of like I thought to myself I should have some backup tracks kind of a thing. You know, let me see, how do I zoom in? Yeah. So yeah, so some tracks here. Thank you very much to all the people who, especially to you, who collected all the phrases. I've just discovered your big collection, and it's very nice phrases, and they helped in filling out this stuff. And also thanks to especially to the people who created those phrases. Thanks a lot. And I saw a suggestion somewhere of an idea of having sort of like a repository kind of a thing where the application would sync to it and be able to get new phrases. Oh my gosh, that would of course be brilliant, especially if it had ratings and stuff like that, and categories or something like that. But yeah, I think that's a pie in the sky thing for me right now, compared to the other features. But of course it would be super nice, and I just wanted to thank everybody who's been making phrases and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm constantly seeing I've got this huge screen space lost. Now I have to find them. I wish there was a button to just automatically find the things on the track, or a shortcut more. I love shortcuts. I'm a huge fan of shortcuts. This is this is my world. This right here. And I wish there would be a way to search between them, like just a quick search thing here, because Attila is adding new features. By the way, thank you so much, Attila. In case you're watching, you're amazing, and thank you. RapidComposer is amazing and just super awesome. Yeah, so then I would take this song, I would export the MIDI, and then I would go to the last stage, which would be the Cubase stage. I guess it takes a while to close. I'm still surprised that it's recording. This recording software is surprisingly stable. It's called OBS. I just installed it 2 days ago or 3 days ago. So I wanted to give Attila some feedback, and yeah, I've never had such a good experience with the recording software. So that was Rembering Solar. Yeah, okay. And I guess similarly, I probably took an approach where, I tried to keep what I had composed initially in RapidComposer. You could see those phrases which were more spaced and ordered, and then wherever it needed thickening up, or I thought it wasn't interesting enough or something like that, then I could use some of my backup phrases. I think I had 2 secondary melody phrases and a couple of chording type of arpeggios and ostinatos and things like that, so that in case I need one in the middle of the song, I can always go back to it. So I hope you find this somewhat interesting, and let's do some psychedelic. Ooh, infinite zoom. Okay, loaded surprisingly fast. Okay, let's lower the volume. Yeah, normally I would lower it from the speakers, but no, I shouldn't. So here the stars were the pizzicatos kind of a thing. Yeah, okay. And let me deselect stuff. Yeah, so this, and you know, you can see the different tracks here, and these at the end where I generally control them with volume. I've been learning techniques to, like, okay, I've been doing more of this less gradual fading and more sudden fading, but then something I just discovered in the last one, that kind of sucks a bit, the uncomfortable melody, that it's good to introduce stuff like this, but then I should simultaneously, like, see, as I close this one, now I'm doing it more like this, so that it's gradually going out. So things that are coming in strong, but things that are going out are going in slow. This is a discovery. I know it seems trivial and sort of obvious, but I used to make all my fade-ins and fades out, they were all like, you know, gradually fading into each other, and you know, everything was like sort of slopey, and there was a feeling of discomfort kind of a thing. And here in terms of instruments, yeah, unfortunately at this moment in time, although RapidComposer seems like a lighter application in terms of handling VSTs and playback and not stuff like that, it seems to be having problems, like it's cramps a bit, but yeah, I'm with at the rate that Attila is implementing stuff, I have high hopes. So I've already mentioned this. Then there's the Jaeger Bartoks. Oh no, actually this is the version with the portato. My wife tried some stuff. It was interesting. She actually made some stuff much better than me. The melodies here. There was this stuff. She was. There was a little theme here that I made a little melody, and she made it repeat and pre-announce itself and stuff like that. So that was really nice. We have here. Actually, have 3 trumpets. It's just here, but it worked pretty well. This is the performance samples, fluid shorts. I actually have used the ultra shorts. I've made here my shortcuts, and performance samples, for each one they have normal, tight, ultra tight, normal, tight, ultra tight. And I didn't think I'd care, and I didn't think I noticed, but I actually went for ultra shorts for all of them. The other thing that I noticed that was sort of surprising, and I'm kind of confused about it, is that because of legatos, some tracks have this. I hope in the future RapidComposer will get this ability to, in the legato, to not just make them near, but also overlap, and then to also move that overlap to the left up to -250. Although I've had as much as -500, but you know, it seems to help the legatos, you know, beyond the beat. And actually other instruments, so it's kind of I really hope that variation of the legato will get developed. Yeah, because like I was saying, it seems to me that this new generation of samples, in order to have more sound and better sound, they end up you know, putting more sound, and they come in a bit later. This is an awesome shortcut that I love here, and I use it in RapidComposer also, which is, for me, it's P, I think. And it sets the region to be exactly where a phrase is, in this case, a section of the song. And, you know, then I can Alt P and start playing, and, yeah, all this stuff. I will... if anybody's watching this and the songs are not known or something like that, or you're curious, I'm gonna put them in the description. Yeah, so this is their song, by the instruments out and everything, and I think we can close this, and might as well show the actually, how do I okay, let's quit, and hopefully, yeah. So this was Rembering, and then there was Best Bench in the Park. here it is in the composition stage. With this one, I think I actually started. I think I started this one on in Chordbot, because I think I started on a train or something, and then a few days ago I was on a park bench with my wife on a picnic, and I got to continue it there. And oh, I'm losing screen space at the bottom again. Maximize once. Yeah, this time it worked. So the phrases there, the Chordbot has some very nice arpeggios, and I could start on based on those and continue based on those in RapidComposer. Did some experiments with different modes and stuff like that, and I think maybe some progression, some progression changes. I also then I think I added myself some here I actually added myself then some backup and extra melodies to work with, so that I can if I need places, the melody generator, I tried to have it work in parts and have repeating parts. Settings, I don't how do I go here? I guess I can only do this on the first. Too bad it doesn't show the first. I think it would make sense to show the first thing when you're selecting a clone kind of thing. By the way, I've been having crashes when I select some when I tries to unclone, or what they're called. Why am I not? I hope I clearly it's here, of course. Yeah. So the range limitation is very nice, as I've been learning that melodies tend to be more constrained than one thinks. And and now I'm gonna zoom out the whole track, and I guess this is the stage at which I would then export the MIDI, and then I would go into Cubase and do the finishing, the mixing, and then the mastering, I think it's called, or what, I think maybe best bench in the park, I guess so. Yeah, hopefully I'm still recording, and sorry for the people who are bored. I guess those are gone anyway, so thank you for if you're still watching, yeah. So my process is very humble. I still have a lot of things to learn about from you guys, about RapidComposer, about music in general, about music theory. I'm slowly trying to train myself also in sort of like, what is this, mixing and mastering or whatever, so that things work together and kind of stuff. I find we're incredibly lucky and privileged to be living in an age where hey, I can make be a bedroom composer, or what they call them, I can control and direct an orchestra. It's just freaking amazing. So yeah, it's a wonderful time to be alive, and thank you very much, Attila, for bringing a dream come true. I never thought I would get to make music and orchestral music and for MIDIs to sound kind of good, and RapidComposer is really great at raising things a whole level closer to the way we think about stuff, yeah, that's a big deal, and the dream come true. So I've all my life have been trying, but yeah, in the past couple of years the steps have been huge. So yeah, here bam, 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 bam. Yeah, anyway, here is a cabaret piano. Again, I saw it on DL Compressor on a sale. It was like 10 euros or something like that, so yay. This is a great free piano, I thought. Yeah, this is a free cello. It has so much character. I loved it. Let me see. Really, I actually I would even maybe go as far as to say that it's better than the Tinago one. I wanted to get from Cine Samples anyway because their maker is so great, but yeah, it's I got scared though, but they mentioned something about watermarking and stuff like that. I was like, what? Spitfire solo strings, very solid, and actually I really like the fact that you can just fade in the vibrato here, and they have different kind of stuff. This is really nice. I'm getting also used to the close and far. I wish it was drier, so I didn't, you know, like I add my own reverb. My own reverb in this case is, what's it called? We have it here. It's called Ori Reverb. But I need to get to it. Yeah, it's here. Okay, I think. No? Where is the Ori reverb? Somewhere there should be a track that's called I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's here. Okay, so this is, I have no idea what is good or bad or kind of a thing. Maybe somebody who knows more can tell me. So everybody was mentioning this one, Cloud Reverb, but I didn't like it very much, and I didn't have presets, so I didn't, by like it I mean I just didn't know much to use it, and I don't trust my ears that much. And then there's this the one that comes with Cubase. I don't have the professional version, so there's maybe a better one there. This one has presets, but I thought to myself, what if they're not so good, or I don't know. And everybody was praising this one, surprisingly free one, and it actually is pretty nice, I guess. And of course it would be nice if the libraries were drier, and then I can use more of it. So I had to use, I never thought I'd use a long consordino, because these are screechy little sounds, and I always thought I hated them, but seems like they have their place. This is the big bass. It's Jaeger full ensemble spiccato, so it's a pretty powerful sound, I thought. This is a viola from Soloist. I think this is the... Actually, I'm sorry I didn't get to use it more. You can see the whole track here is the melody from RapidComposing, but there was only a place in the song for it here. But I do... Is it the same thing? Maybe it's the same thing, and I use it again here, so that the woodwinds, you know, pick the melody up and run with it. Yeah, we have here also the Vienna Studio, and yes, my beloved palette, the wind staccato. Here we have what is this? The Symphony Essentials. Again, I tried some Meredith Solveig, vocalist from everybody loves it, and I think it's okay. It sounds very Bloodborne-y, but I didn't feel I make it work. This is an interesting mixture. I loaded up the cello ultra tight, the violas ultra tight, and the violins ultra tight. And here I have a mixture of the full ensemble and the 10 violas, one on spiccato, one on portato. And here is some Symphony Essential stuff. This one I never used. I thought it was interesting at some point, but then I had never used it. This is all the virtuosos from Spitfire Soloists together forming a bit of a chamber section here. So this, and here I actually got some MIDIs, some beats, MIDI beats, and then I tried to map them to... Here's the symphony percussion, and but I don't think they're all... Yeah, some of them are from Jaeger, and yeah, and yeah, I think that's about that. Hopefully you found this interesting, and this answered your question. Thank you very much again for all your great videos, and I hope you will be making more, and thank you everybody who has been making them. Greets to everybody on the forum. Thanks for sharing your music, and of course big huge thanks to Attila for making RapidComposer and everything that he's making. It's really awesome, and I can't wait to see the future features. Greets to everybody. Thanks.